So there have been times like where we're there first when there's a major emergency, a fire, if there's a shooting, if there's an explosive, we're there first. We're if they have security and something goes wrong, it is 9 times more likely that the first responder, in a sense, is the security officer themselves who's there. And unfortunately, if there's a shooting, if there's an explosive, we're done. We're done for, And, there have been many security officers who've been killed doing this job, just as an officer, So if you want to sit there and bash on us, you've really got to think about, what our job entails. We're there. I'm not trying to diss anybody. Okay, so that guy was Coast Guard. I appreciate the military. I appreciate what they do. Okay? But to sit there, it'd just be more or less like cops dissing on Washington State Patrol, or certain police departments, dissing on them, or sheriffs, or it doesn't make any sense, because like I said many times, we're there to have the same, we all have the same common goal, and that is to make sure that you guys get home and you can go to bed and kiss your family goodnight and wake up the next day. I don't always enjoy this job, but why I got into security is because I like to help people. And no matter how much that I sit there and I get criticism, or I get called a bitch, or whatever else they want to say or do or whatever, if I get one simple thank you for doing something, and it could be so mundane, I don't know if I said that right, but anyway, showing them to their car, or giving an employee an escort, or trying to break up a fight, or making sure a person that's not up to any good, who may cause harm to an innocent bystander, and that person turns around and says thank you, that makes everything else totally worth it. It does. Because that's why I got into security, is to help people and try to protect people the best that I can. I don't have a gun. I don't have a lot, but I'd like to think that I'm a good people person, that I can de-escalate situations where they don't turn badly. But sometimes you can't always do that. Sometimes shit happens. And when that does happen, at least for myself, it hits hard. And it's even harder when people are sitting there giving you flack. It's not, like I said, it's not a glamorous job. You'll have days you want to cry and think, what the fuck am I doing? And then to sit there and read all those nasty comments, it's like, if you honestly believe that we're not doing anything, then why are we there? The next time that you need help and there's a security person and you need somebody to help you, take a step back and think, wow, what if that person wasn't there to help me in that particular situation? I've seen a lot of shit go down. It's just part of the job, You have your good days, you have your bad days, your days where you're like trying to call up your supervisor and be like, I quit. I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. But you just got to roll with the punches. But I think it would make life a lot easier in some sense if, we didn't have to read crap like that. You can post whatever you want. You can have whatever opinions you want. But just know that your assumption of what I do for my line of work and what others do isn't worth beans. Next time that you're in a sticky situation where we've gone and helped you, hopefully that will change your mind. Because, like I said, it's stressful some days. Long hours, no sleep. I've literally, by the end of yesterday, at midnight, for 2.5 weeks, I put in close to 150 hours. 2.5 weeks. Holidays, I was working, and it sucks, but it's just part of the job. And I fully accepted that when I got into this job. And for those who are trying to look into security, want to get into security, you gotta remember why you want to do this job. And if it's to help people, if it's try to, make, certain things better for others, then you just got to remember that and keep that in the forefront of your mind, especially when those hard days happen. Because you are going to face situations where you're just like, what the hell am I doing? Why am I here? Especially when people you don't know at all are sitting there and putting you down. You just got to remember in your heart why you chose to do this job. And another thing is, you're getting in security. Don't think that it's a good paying job either. Every contract has their own pay. So, this one, not the greatest pay. But there are other contracts that get paid less than we do. There are other contracts that get paid a lot more than we do. But I like this contract. I like this site. I like the people I work with, the employees, the client employees, the overall atmosphere. I like being here. I love my supervisor. He's awesome. He's amazing. And that's why I stick with this contract, So, it's really, you got to do what's best for you and your family. If you don't like a post that you're posted at, if it's not working for you, if it makes you want to quit security just because the contract, even though you love security, ask for a transfer. You don't have to give up what you love or want or like doing just because you don't like a certain contract. So, you can ask for transfers. If you don't want to do security at all, if it's not what you thought it was, if it's not what, your end game is, then you can quit, You're not forced to stay. But there's a lot of stuff to take in consideration when you're trying to do this job. So it's not easy. You're going to have your rough days. But I think at the end of the day, it's worth it for me. I love this job. And I'm really thankful and I'm really glad that I got into this job. So, Anyway, we're gonna have people start showing up and badge checks and inventory and stuff moving around. So I am going to hop off of here, and then soon enough I should be able to clock off and go home and get a few hours of sleep and turn around and do this tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Later today. So y'all have a good night. And I hope this helped weigh a decision or not, or just give you some insight to security. Anyway, have a good night. Bye.